You feel this nervousness on the phone there?
Sir, I've been trying to make an urgent phone call up there.
Well, I don't think it's something I want to do on an overseas phone.
You gotta make some phone calls. Hang up the phone. Prank caller. Prank caller.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to Packernet After Dark. This is the call-in show with the Packernet Podcast Network. If you'd like to call in, if you'd like to participate in the show, please feel free to do so. The phone number here is 608-501-0718. New callers go directly to the front of the line. All right. So first things first, I'm going to go ahead and put this one on the Monday morning. I apologize. The other one is about half done, which is why on Tuesday's show you'll hear me talk about, oh, yesterday, hope you had a good Mother's Day. I'm currently in Mother's, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what hit me. I mean, we did go out for Mother's Day and I ate food. I don't know if they put friggin' drugs in my food or what, but I was trying to power through that episode and I don't know what was wrong with me. I went and laid down for a little bit. It's like, I'm just going to go lay in bed. I just have this urge. It's just, I swear, I know I'm not even 40 yet. And I talk like I'm 90. But occasionally, maybe once a month, once every 2 months, it's like, just get this urge to lay down. And then I wake up several hours later. So I'm going to let you guys handle it a little bit because I just, as stupid as it sounds, I don't have the juice to do the show that I want to do. So this is what we're going to do for Monday. I'll wake up tomorrow all refreshed and I'll hit it appropriately. So thank you to all the callers for making sure we got some stuff for today. All right, we don't have any new callers. Did I do the right intro? I don't know. 608-501-0718 is the phone number if you'd like to call in. TJ from Alabama, what's going on?
Hey, Ryan, TJ from Alabama. Listening to your mini to whatever rant on Danny Parkinson and
yes.
Jordan Love semi-take, whatever. And I don't really have anything to add because you very eloquently covered it all. It's beyond stupid as far as that take and that we would have won a Super Bowl and yada, yada, yada. And again, I don't want to repeat any of it because you covered all the aspects of Rodgers and first-year receivers and number one offense and top five quarterback. No, I don't want a top five quarterback. It's just so stupid. But there are people that I like listening to in small doses. And not in large doses that I know people really don't like. And I can easily understand why they don't like them, like Nick Wright and Colin Cowherd. But
strangely, I can tolerate Colin Cowherd. If you've been listening for a while, you know that occasionally I'm like, if there's anybody out there that has some good takes, it's this guy. To be clear, I haven't heard a good take from him in probably a couple of years, but I used to say that. Nick Wright, can't stand. Absolutely cannot stand. I don't know what it is. There's quite a few people in that realm. It's I think for me, it's either like I'm fine with them or I can't frickin' stand them. And Nick Wright is for whatever reason, can't stand. I think a lot of them to me come off as phony. They don't belong. I don't know what it is, but they just frickin' rub me the wrong way. They have this like arrogance. They all kind of do. I mean, Colin Cowherd does too, but they have this sort of arrogance about them that is so unearned. It is infuriating. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because he's like a goofy guy who's got like the long flowing Fabio hair trying to be all like something that he's very obviously not, but I don't know. I'm not sure what it is. It's a me problem, not a him problem. Sure, he's a great guy. Sure, he's a brilliant guy, and congrats on all your success. But he and Danny Parkins together, who are apparently buddies, cannot do it. Never in my life has he said something that I didn't despise.
I can't listen to him too long, but for certain things in small doses,
sure,
I can kind of listen to him and blah, 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 get a little, and then I had enough, and then I can't listen to him again for 6 months. But Danny Parkinson, I will give him credit for one thing and one thing only. I think out of all the talking heads that there is, I would say, and I will challenge anybody to come up with a better one, I think he has the most punchable face out of any of the talking heads. And I stand by that. All right, that's it, Ryan. Thanks. Go back, go.
Well, I mean, to be fair, there's some good competition. I was going to say Nick Wright is probably his best competition. But then you think about it, and it's like, bro, I mean, Skip Bayless? I mean, I don't know. Maybe I don't think he wins, but he should be in the conversation if we're going to have a conversation about it. Boy, I can't really say the one guy that I probably can't stand the most because I don't know that his face is punchable. He's just a freaking obnoxious jagoff. Good looking dude, you know, built like a friggin' god. But yes, it does make it worse. And maybe that makes me and you a bad person, TJ. The fact that if your face is gonna look like that, you better say something smart. You know what I mean? Like, this better be profound, because I shouldn't be subjected to your frickin' face. And yet here I am, no idea why you got a promotion out of Chicago, although we did learn that it's because Nick Wright apparently is buddies with him and got him the job. Of all the people in Chicago, he was the least desirable, although he was the hot take machine. Him and Adam Rank. But I guess, first of all, Adam Rank already is sort of a national guy, so that checks out. Again, it's so infuriating. I mean, it's not even a me thing, because I don't honestly want that. I'm very comfortable here. I don't want to have to put on a suit and tie and fly to some ESPN studios or something. Like, I just, legitimately, I know everybody, oh, you're lying. I'm not lying. I mean, I would say yes for the money, but I don't want that. So believe me, it's not a me thing. There are a lot of very deserving people in the Chicago Bears space, in the Packers space, in the Vikings and Lions. Like, I've met some really cool people in the Viking space and in the Bear space and in the Lion space and all around I've done podcasts with like Falcons people who are super cool. There was a Panthers guy that was freaking awesome. That guy is hilarious. I mean, there's so many good people, and we got to be subjected to Danny. I mean, I don't want to lay into this too hard, but you bring up a fantastic point, and I want to sit on it for a minute. I mean, never mind. I listen. Punchable would be the nice way out for him. I think. I think I watched. Well, I watched the UFC fight last night, which was fantastic, by the way. But I think because of that, now my feed, especially on YouTube, is starting to be like, oh, you want to watch fighting stuff? And I was kind of scrolling through the shorts. You know, sometimes I can't find a video and I just don't feel like it, so I'll just kind of scroll through those. And I don't know if this guy got his girlfriend to do it or what, but it was somebody that should not have been holding pads. And this dude is experienced, so he knows how to throw a kick, which, by the way, you shouldn't have somebody inexperienced holding for you, period. And if you're going to why would you throw a head kick, dude? I guess maybe it could have been a body kick. I don't know. It was pretty high. But she kind of gets nervous and like crouches down. Bottom line is his shin went right across her face and she just went out. And I'm just saying, if that was Danny Parkins, I would donate to that video. TJ Part 2.
Hey, Ryan, TJ from Alabama again. This time more Packer content. McManus being cut. You know, I was absolutely on the train of, when Haversick and yada, yada, yada. I mean, we did the not Daniel Carlson. I wish we would have done Daniel Carlson, but, Carlson, whatever, his first name, escaping me at the moment. But, it's like we get McManus and he's kicking. He's kicking it through the uprights and stuff like that. And we're winning regular season games and everything's pretty good. And, it's like, no, we don't want to go with Haversick, some retread. And I realize kickers are generally retreads. Like, very few kickers come out of the gate good, stay good all their career with one team. Like, that just generally does not happen. They become good somewhere along the line and somebody benefits. So I was always on the train of, no, just keep McManus. Just stick with the guy who we know can kick and yada, yada.
Yeah.
But then the jag-off starts missing kicks in playoffs and costing, not him by himself, but definitely he did his part to lose playoff games the last 2 years. And, hey, if I don't need to pay a veteran, $4 million to frickin' miss kicks in the playoffs. So, yeah, let's go with the young guy, and at least hopefully he can get better and he's a lot cheaper and yada yada. So I was always on the McManus train, not because of McManus. I never really felt like he was really a Packer. He was just a guy that we hired to kick. So I had really no particular love loss or whatever. But, when you just miss kicks in the playoffs, then screw it. Let's just go with the young guy. Let's get behind him. Go Smack. That's it. Go Pack, go.
Yeah, I mean, again, I've stated my case on it several times. I mean, kickers go through patches. Just because he missed for a patch doesn't mean that that's going to be the case. I mean, wide receivers go through patches and quarterbacks go through patches. And again, I went through the whole thing with guys, patience ends up working out. But at the end of the day, if Smack is as good as he's supposed to be, I'm going to be very, very happy because, like you said, you go with the young guy, and if they think he can be not only young but more reliable and cheaper, it's a slam dunk. So I'm excited, and like I said, the difference with kicker is basically we got like the first round draft pick kicker. You know what I mean? So it is exciting for that reason. Like this is the best in the entire draft class. Like heck yeah, and kicker's important. It is. It's extremely important. So to snag the best kicker in the country, at least the one that was draft eligible, feels good. I'm absolutely nervous about it because, again, I think McManus has proven himself for a very long time, including in Green Bay, aside from down the stretch when the entire team couldn't play for some reason. But if he... all that matters, it's very similar to the discussion about Jordan Love. At the end of the day, Rodgers is not a long-term solution, no matter which way you slice it. I mean, technically, he could still be here right now, although we're still waiting on a response, and we would have to be dealing with that every year. Not knowing if you have a quarterback, which we did that with Brett Favre too. That was part of the reason I wanted to move on to Rodgers. I was like, I'm kind of done with it, and he honestly looks pretty good, so let's move on. But anywho, it all just comes down to to Smack. If he's bad, that sucks. If he's good, then that's great. But at the end of the day, again, McManus is not the long-term solution, and you're gonna have to take some swings at this thing at some point. It's just, when you take a kind of big swing, like a 6th-round pick, as opposed to let's bring in a UDFA and let him compete, and you draft a guy in the 6th round and then cut McManus, it is burn the boats. So hopefully this was the right decision. All right. We'll take a break, and then we got Beer Cheese Benny.
Yo, Beer Cheese Benny here.
What up?
Packers just freaking released Brandon McManus. What does that tell you? It tells you that they were tired of him. They were just like, nah, we're just not going to do this experiment anymore, man. Like, you were good for us for a little bit, and then, you really started sucking. And we're not going to deal with it. We're not going to, we have this young guy who smacks the ball, Trey Smack. He smacks it through the uprights, and you don't, you freaking bum. So, sorry, McMiss. You're gone, buddy. But I think this was good, man.
McManus.
No point in drafting a kicker if you were, just going to keep McManus. Because otherwise you just waste a roster spot or whatever. Or practice, whatever. Mm-hmm. Honestly, this needed to happen, dude. McManus is on decline. And we all saw it, man. He fucking screwed us every chance he got. And it was bullcrap. And the Packers aren't going to put up with it, man. Time to win. Okay? Packers, that's kind of where they screwed up with special teams. And, we got Sky Moore for punt returner. Hopefully that works out because they dang signed Hardman. And then they just cut him, which was stupid, I thought. They should have just kept him as the returner. I don't know why they ever cut him. So Sky Moore, if they cut him, they're stupid. Because he'll be a better returner than any of our guys ever could be. And now we got cut McManus loose. And you have Trey Smack, who you know is going to be a baller, bro. I'm sorry, but I'm going to back him until I shouldn't. You know, just a young guy who is hungry and who has proven it in college, clearly, and, you know, ready for the NFL, man. I'm really excited. And, you know, Ryan, I really got to get some earbuds so I can start listening to the podcast more at work. I kind of, in the move, when we moved here, I think I lost my earbuds. I mean, maybe they're in a box somewhere. I don't know. But, you know, I haven't been really keeping up with the pod too much, but I try to call in still, you know. And been dealing with some freaking sinus infection, man. I had some antibiotics. It's getting better. I don't have the pressure in my face anymore, but still feel kind of stuffy, you know. But anyways, go Pack, go. We're never winning the Super Bowl. And you heard it from me. That means it's going to happen, dude. We're never going to win it. I'm just kidding. It means we're going to win it. Sorry.
Yeah, there's no question, and the Packers have been pretty aggressive over the years. Again, I know everyone's going to roll, not everyone, but a lot of people want to roll their eyes. Gutekunst never does any, cry about it. But as far as at the end of the season, and this might be shallow thinking, but, you know, they look at directly where did we fall short and then try to attack that thing. You know, again, offensive line, you could argue, but number one was the injuries, and then number two, there's really not the opportunity. But, you know, you could tell from Gutekunst immediately he wanted to attack corner, right? It was obvious. And immediately, what did they do? First things first, go out and get a corner. So, again, maybe he's a little over-aggressive and is being kind of reckless in terms of attacking needs all over the place. But, no, you're right. I think that is what happened. You know, as much as I want to kind of give him the benefit of the doubt that this was just, you know, best player available kind of thing, and I'm sure to some degree it was or whatever, but I really think a lot of this was Gutekunst saying, that's bull crap, and I'm not dealing with this nonsense, and you suck, and get off my team, is what I think legitimately happened. So, Drew, what's up, buddy?
Hey, Ryan, it's Drew from Green Bay, and about the referee situation where they agreed to the deal, I really think the NFL got the better of the referee association. And, like, from what I read in an article, basically, the refs get a 10% raise, and the NFL gets to have, like, a bench of refs, and they get to start having more accountability for the officials. And, you know, if you think about it, getting a small raise and less job security is, like, never a good thing.
No, that's not great.
Or rarely a good thing. And if you listen to, like, statements that were made about it, so the vice president of football operations said this agreement is a testament to the joint commitment of the league and union to invest and improve officiating. It also speaks to the game officials' relentless pursuit of improvement and officiating excellence. We look forward to working together for the betterment of the game. Like, that sounds really excited about it. And then you go down to what the NFLRA said, and it was a mutual and determined effort. And it says, we see this new CBA as a partnership with the league that benefits our membership, but also seeks to make the game better. It is good to get the negotiations behind us so we can focus on preparing for the 2026 season. Yeah, when you're saying it's just good to have the negotiations behind you, I don't think you feel like you got the better of them. So I'm glad that the NFL got some accountability built in and got a bench rest. This is literally what we've been suggesting suggesting many people have on your show even, and you yourself have, because it's just the obvious play. So anyways, I think we might see officiating improve, but what do you think? All right, bye.
That is a good point. It's also funny that the entire statement by the NFL seems to be pointed toward, you know, the refs suck and we're going to try to make it better. You know? But, yeah, that is a good point. Aaron, what up?
Yo, it's Jimmy. It's been a while.
Jimmy,
just heard
right.
your
Aaron
whole
number 2,
take on
Jimmy.
Jordan Love and how he is not wildly consistent, and I appreciate everything you just put together. Was incredibly thorough and very convincing, no doubt. That like on a statistical level, which matters. You know, I'm not saying that to put it down. Jordan is super consistent, and this idea that he's wildly inconsistent is some sort of weird narrative that I don't know. It just doesn't. I don't know why. I don't know where it comes from, but it's unnecessary and it is not accurate.
Well, yeah, and I meant to mention this. I think with TJ, you know, it's not just not that I didn't state this already, but you know, this isn't just something like Danny Parkins said it, and so I'm going to go. Not that I'm above that by any means. I absolutely would still do it, but part of the massive frustration is how widespread it is. I mean, it's become a thing that it's just like it's accepted, even among Packer fans. A lot of the time, it's just become accepted, and it's like, guys, do not accept this Bears fan bullcrap narrative. Okay, don't do it. I promise you, he's better than what you're being sold.
I want to ask you how you would address this part. Because I think that I think what they're saying is that so much that his stats are inconsistent, but that his like clutchness is inconsistent, like when it matters. Like the whole Tom Brady thing got me thinking about that because, yeah, totally Tom Brady up and down in general, just like everybody else. But he always seemed to get it done when it had to get done. And I'm not saying I don't think Jordan does or has that, but I feel like that's part of the deal that people are actually talking about, which is harder to quantify. And that's where I'm just curious what you think about that. You know, like how do you quantify clutch, I guess is what I'm saying. It feels like more of an emotional kind of judgment and harder to prove, as you said, you know, prove it. How do you prove that he's clutch or not clutch? And I don't know. I think he's got plenty of time. He's doing great. And I think that to expect him to have proved himself, you know, already as much as everybody is, I guess, expecting for him to already be a quote unquote Brett Favre or a quote unquote Aaron Rodgers, which doesn't mean to be them exactly, but to be of their caliber, you know. And yeah, Brett Favre was the most inconsistent guy ever. He's the interception leader, I think, still is for the whole NFL, for his history. I mean, come on, it's completely inconsistent. But he was clutch. There's no doubt about that, you know. So how do you compare that? How do you figure out the clutch part of it? That's my question. Go Paco.
Well, and I do know that that's a thing that you can check. I mean, it's kind of late down, you know, I don't know exactly what you do inside of 2 minutes with when you're either equal or negative as far as your point differential or something. It's a relatively straightforward and common thing that people look at. I can check that out if that's part of the narrative. I don't know. I will say though, as far as, you know, you mentioned Favre and Rodgers would fit in that. I don't think so. I mean, Rodgers, I think if we're going to go after Jordan about it, I think we need to go after Rodgers about it. Not necessarily fairly, but if the question comes down to getting it done when it matters, I mean, playoff losses have been our thing for a very long time through Aaron Rodgers' career, with the obvious exception of one Super Bowl. So, you know, maybe, and again, I can look at it. What I would prefer, though, is and again, I'll do it because it's good content and it's a good question and it's a fair question and all that. And there are critiques that are fair about Jordan. I mean, again, prior to, I was looking at the fact that he struggles with his the deep ball. I know was a narrative for a while, at least for me, that I had found. His accuracy was poor, and the interceptions were maybe a little high, and all these things were true and they were accurate. And I mean, I was on here just taking frickin' sledgehammers to the face as I was sitting here trashing Jordan on the show, and callers are coming in, praising him. So I don't want it to just. This isn't just blind faith in the guy. I think that people are being unfair to him. So I can look at that, but what I would prefer is rather than people, and I don't mean you, but I mean as far as like narratives that are going on out there, telling me all about their feelings, come to me with some statistics and tell me like, well, actually, here is something that is true about Jordan Love that I've found, and you can double check or cross reference or whatever, but based on my looking at it and analysis or whatever, here's kind of where I'm at on it. He seems not clutch. But that, and the reason I have frustration with that is because that's what happens on social media all the time is you'll say, okay, here is what I've done for the last 45 minutes to try to dispel this nonsense that you're saying. And then, sorry, I'm clearing my throat every second. I don't know what my problem is here. But here, I saw your comment on social media. I went and did all this work, and here it is. And then it's like, yeah, well, what about this? And then, like, I just have to chase these narratives all over the place. And it's like, you know what? I don't want to have to do that. I will for the sake of the podcast. But for the sake of, like, argument on social media or whatever the case may be, why don't you actually make a case? You know what I mean? You actually come to me and say, here is the reality, rather than, yeah, well, I feel this way. Okay, well, let me investigate your feelings. Yeah, well, okay, fine, but I feel this way. Yeah, I don't know, dude. I don't know. But, yeah, we can look at that. I know I have at one point. I don't remember exactly what the result of that was, but it's worth looking at. Maybe we'll do that at some point. All right, I'll take a break and come back with Chris from Alabama.
Hey, what's going on, Ryan? Chris from Alabama, man.
What up?
Calling in today, man. I ain't even gonna hold them, man. It might be one of them old rants today, man. I'm gonna try to keep my cousin to a minimum, but the more I talk about this, the more pissed off I'm gonna get, and the cuss word might fly. But this is the deal. The Jordan Love slander is all the way out of control.
Agreed.
Feel what I'm saying? The Jordan Love slander is all the way out of control. I'm sick and damn tired of all the Jordan Love slander. First off, the whoever the dude name, I can't think of this goofy ass. I can't think of the young man's name that had the most stupidest, dumbass take I ever heard in my entire life about taking a damn wide receiver and thinking that they were gonna make a difference in a damn 2 seasons where the offense wasn't the problem. Right. Anyway, see, I'm about to go off in it. Saying that Jordan Love was a bad pick because you could have got T. Higgins and maybe, just maybe, win a Super Bowl or 2.
This is where I was stupid, because I was hopeful that Jordan would just be a very good quarterback so that this would die. And yet the people who, silly me, the people that were dumb enough to think that it was a smart argument back when Jordan hadn't proven himself yet, still think it's a smart argument when he has proven himself. Silly me for having any expectation that suddenly they would be rational thinking human beings.
It's the dumbest shit I ever heard in my life. You would rather get a damn wide receiver win Super Bowls and then be what in the next 10, 15 years? A trash-ass franchise like the damn trash-ass, sorry-ass, bullshitting-ass Chicago Bears are? typical Bears fan. But not only that, I've been seeing stuff online about how Jordan Love is overrated, and I saw the dumbest shit. I don't even know where it came from, but the guy was talking about Taylor Williams was, like 2 or 3 steps above Jordan Love. I was like, you know what? That's it. I'm done. I held my tongue enough. I'm sick and fucking tired of everybody in this mainstream media space and the podcast space, man, rather, because they got a couple of these clowns out here with podcasts that's talking dumb shit too. I'm sick and damn tired of it. Jordan Love is not the damn problem. Jordan Love was not the problem in the Bears playoff loss. It was a defense. I don't want to hear nobody else dumb ass talking about, well, Jordan Love can't win the big one. You see what happened in the Bears game? They came back from 15. A dude actually said the reason that the Bears got was
Oh man, I had comments, but I can't interrupt this. Part 2, Chris.
They said that the reason we lost was because of Jordan Love and not moving the ball in the second half. We had like 1 3 and out and another drive of 6 and out. The rest was scored. The rest should have been scored if the kicker makes the damn kick. But anyway, I need to hear that. I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say this right now. It is May the 9th, 2026. And you can call this a absolutely early bold prediction. This is my prediction. And I'm about to get ready to listen to the Jordan Love podcast episode you got. I wanted to call in before I listen to that. So I might listen to that. And if you got some more clips about somebody saying some dumb shit, I'm probably calling back. But Jordan, look, my prediction. Jordan Alexander Love. I ain't make that up. That's his real name now. Jordan Alexander Love will be your 2026 NFL MVP. And all you stupid motherfuckers that got now talking this dumb shit about how he ain't even a top 10 quarterback can shut the fuck up. I apologize for the language. I'm on one right now. I say it one more time for the people in the back that didn't hear me and the Bears fan that's hiding under the table, pretending like they don't listen to this shit, and they do. Jordan Alexander Love will be your new 2026 NFL MVP. He winning the MVP this year, and I'll put my stamp on it. You can lock it down, you can write it down, you can stamp it, you can put a bow on it, wrap it up, and send it to somebody as a Christmas gift. I don't care. That's my prediction, and that's what's going to happen. And I'm sick of the slander and all the stupid folks at ESPN, FL1, and every damn where else, NBC, CBS, Fox. I don't give a damn if you work for TNT, whoever. Jordan Alexander Love will be your 2026 NFL MVP, and all you dummies that been talking this dumb shit gonna have to eat your words and put your foot all the way down your throat until it gets to your ass. And I'm out. Go Pack, go. Talk to y'all later.
Oh, that felt good. That felt so good. Oh man, Chris, if you ever want to take Sal's job, you just let me know. All right, it's it's a standing offer. Just go ahead and take it. That is. I feel. I'm awake now, so that's nice. I'm freaking wide awake. Ready to go into battle. Can't believe. So you called in before I went on my Jordan rant. So we're just on the same wavelength then. That's good. Man, freaking no notes. I guess. First of all, if you're new here, this is After Dark, and the rules shift a touch. I kind of let some language fly, and let's be honest. I mean, it's like watching Pulp Fiction on daytime TV where everything's edited out. I mean, what's the point? You know, if I'm going to bleep that out, then we might as well not even listen to it. I don't know. I don't know what it's going to take. Honestly, I mean, I don't even fully understand it, because I do understand, for example, Jimmy's point where it's like, well, he'd probably get more respect if, you know, there was something bigger attached to it, you know, some playoff wins or something. I mean, I guess I kind of get that. Not that it's correct, because it's not, but I mean, if you think about it, who are talented quarterbacks that haven't won? Well, I mean, I guess that's not even necessarily. Look at Joe Burrow. That dude doesn't win a damn thing, and he gets respect. Probably not as much respect as he deserves. I mean, I guess when people are doing lists of top 10 quarterbacks, they at least put him on it. Maybe they don't talk about him 24/7 like they do Pat Mahomes, who, by the way, isn't even deserving of anything anymore. I mean, he hasn't been a top quarterback in a couple of years. People just discovered it last year, and I think most people think, well, next year he'll just be back to being elite again. Well, okay, maybe, I don't know. But the whole thing is completely stupid. We need guys to stay healthy. We need Golden to go off, not only just for Golden's sake, not just for the Packers' sake and our offense's sake, not just for our Super Bowl aspirations, but I think we do need to put a resounding stamp on this Jordan Love thing, and that needs to be put to bed. And I don't know exactly what it's going to take. Actually, I do. We all know what it's going to take, because you know what? Jordan Love does get respect. He gets respect when the Packers look dominant, because that's how stupid and shallow everything is. When the Packers are winning and they look dominant, boy, Jordan Love is really, really good. But then when Jordan plays well and the team loses, I don't know, he just doesn't really, I don't think he has it. Bro, this is a football team. Okay? Sometimes quarterbacks play good. Teams no so good. Okay? Sometimes that happens. And yeah, sometimes Jordan's not great. That's true. That happens. But that wasn't the case last year. That wasn't why we didn't have a playoff win this last year. It's not like if it wasn't for which is kind of the thought that, well, you know, Jordan should rise up and overcome all these things like Rodgers did, you know. Not all the time, but it you know, maybe once a year in the playoffs you get that one that one win and then the loss. I guess that's the difference between elite, one of the greatest of all time quarterbacks, and Jordan can't get it done, freaking loser Love, is winning that one playoff game and then your team looking like bullcrap. Way to go, Jordan, you stupid idiot. We got 3 Nikos. I think we should. I think we should end it on that. I think we should end on Chris. I shouldn't have even talked after Chris. And Chris, that's a serious offer, by the way. I can't promise you Sal loses his job. So if you're doing it just to take one for the team, I guess it was more of a feel free to send those in anytime, and I will publish them. We'll have to make it another After Dark thing so that you're uncensored. But that was beautiful, man. We have beautiful. And Eve, listen, leaving me out of it. If you wanted to start like a YouTube channel or a podcast, you should. You should. And it's going to be hard to come up with you know genuine rants like that all the time, but the world needs to hear that kind of stuff is all I'm saying. All right, we're going to get out of here. I will talk to y'all tonight, tomorrow, whatever. Have a good one. Bye-bye.